by a Mercedes-Benz. This is the Digibros. Yes.
Did that mean anything?
As long as I break Brandon, everything is okay.
It sounds like something that someone say, like improvising a motivation speech. Like, I can see some guy with like a loose like
You
tie
can do it.
in
Fuck
front of,
my
like, a high
ass.
school.
Buy a Mercedes-Benz. Live your life to the fullest.
I really want a book now called "Fuck My Ass and Buy a Mercedes-Benz." We'll look right at
That's
home
like
on
American
Dad's
Beauty.
bookshelf. Did he write a book called "Fuck My Ass
No.
and Buy a Mercedes-Benz"?
It's just it's a movie about saying just like fuck it to everything and becoming a badass.
Yeah.
Is
It's
that what
really
it's about?
awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
I thought it was a thriller movie.
What? No.
American
You need
Beauty?
to watch American Beauty.
I always thought it was like.
You clearly know fucking nothing about it.
Don't people get killed in that?
Connor, watch American Beauty. Please, you'll probably really like it.
I always thought someone gets killed in that movie.
I'm not gonna.
The husband and wife split up, right?
I'll watch American Beauty again right after we're done with this, so you can see this because you know nothing about this
I
movie.
thought it was a thriller all my life.
Oh my god.
Isn't it shot kind of like a thriller?
No. No. No.
I thought it was a movie about a guy who like creeps on his daughter's friend and then like kills her and rapes her or something.
Oh
and,
fuck.
like-
Oh god. Okay, we're gonna watch American Beauty. Like even I like had seen it as a kid and didn't remember it well, but I knew it wasn't that.
I saw
So-
like 5 minutes of it as a kid.
Yeah, you
so-
didn't see shit. Okay.
I remember the whole rose petals thing where the
Yeah,
girl's like
that's
naked.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
Everyone loves me.
Oh fuck, man.
And her forehead.
Okay.
You gotta kill these things, light the fire.
It's just so fucking ridiculous.
Go, jump to the left and then walk along the pathway.
I gotta do it before the fire goes out.
Yeah, you gotta kill them all.
I didn't. I thought I would go out as soon as I got off the switch. Wait, hold on. Let me think for
Oh
a
my
second.
God.
I got this. Okay,
Let him think,
yeah,
let him
yeah,
think.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Thinking,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Is
processing.
that what thinking sounds like?
Yes. Doesn't it have like a bloop, 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 bloop.
I don't think you're doing this right.
I got one of them. I just gotta like see where I have to be. So I gotta be right there.
Oh man, these enemies are in
They're
all
creepy
the old
as fuck,
Zelda
man.
games. They're just
Really?
not, they don't look like that, but they have the same mechanic.
That's cool.
Um,
They're very creepy enemies.
in Link's Awakening, they're Shy Guys.
Uh-huh.
Because Link's Awakening is a giant Mario reference. Like the entire world
Yeah.
is built on Mario references, and it's got Shy Guys.
Oh, oh. There we go.
So,
Yeah.
what were you talking about before you got sidetracked by American Beauty?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, it was the intro.
Yeah.
So we were gonna talk about Myers-Briggs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brandon, what's your Myers-Briggs?
I am an ENTP. I'm
What is that?
extroverted.
Are you extrovert?
It was
Yeah.
very interesting reading about Brandon's thing when I went to it, because he's basically a devil's advocate, and that's like everything about it. And I was like, "Yep, that's Brandon."
That does
Like
sound
and
right.
reading it, I was like, "Wow, okay, finally something to really explain him to me," because we're not similar people at all.
No.
And so it's very interesting because it's like I never know how
Alright,
you're
so
gonna feel about a specific
describe
thing.
ENTP to me. What is it? What are the 4 words?
It's not that E is
Extroverted.
extroverted. I'm looking it up on my phone.
Oh, well, that leaves us with nothing to talk about in the
No.
meantime.
What are you talking about?
I feel like on my quiz thing, like I'm too inconsistent, and like I should really take the quiz with every different mood I have, because like lately, especially in my more extroverted states where I have to be like an extrovert at school and stuff, like I end up doing things that really are in complete contrast with the answers I remember on that quiz.
That doesn't mean that
And
like
it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh,
just
that's
because
the
you
thing.
do things that contrast doesn't mean that that's not how you feel though. Like
Yeah, but then it's like in certain moments I'll just really feel completely different about certain things. Like lately I've like sometimes I can be a total like devil's advocate like bastard about stuff, and I'm just like, huh, like why did I even act that way? It's kind of confusing.
That's the thing that always throws me off about Myers-Briggs is that
Yeah.
N stands for intuition. And
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so extroversion, intuition, thinking, and perception.
Yeah.
Is ENTP.
So what does it mean?
It's just a personality type. It really
I know,
doesn't
but
mean
what does it?
anything.
What is the? What? You just named 4 words that mean nothing. Like what is an ENTP? What do they do? Either of you
freeze this
could
guy.
possibly describe this to me, because Victor said you read it to him.
The ENTP has been described variously as
He didn't read it to
innovative,
me. I just
the
went and read
originator-
his
Yeah,
thing.
you were the one that
Like
just did the test and
I just asked him what his thing was, and I went and read about it.
I've taken the test like 4 times, and I've gotten an ENTP all 4 times.
Yeah,
I kept changing my thing. I always got INFP.
I always get INFP too. And
Because
for me, it was
I only changed them
perfect.
slightly.
Like when I read it, I was like, this
Yeah,
describes.
I mean it was a pretty good,
everything
accurate
about
description
me.
about me, like generally. So
Right, but you were a lot less confident in it than I was.
Yeah.
Where for me, I was like, this is exactly, like, not only did it feel like it didn't really leave anything out, but it felt like nothing in it was irrelevant, you know?
Yeah.
The only part that I wasn't completely sure about was like the workplace part, because
Yeah.
I didn't work for very long and I don't really know what I'd be like if I worked with other people for a long time. But even the part that's like about child rearing and stuff like that, like sounded exactly like how I would like, because I've thought a lot about if I raised a child, right? Because
man, that's interesting.
You've never thought about that?
Not really.
Oh man.
I just
Brandon, have you
that
ever
is
thought about
that is
that?
not a
About
place
Yourself
for me.
as a dad?
Yeah, I've thought of it.
I think about it like a lot.
I think
Like,
I
maybe
always
maybe
see
I
it-
have a little bit. It's
I
just
see
not
it as
something
like
I think
lone
about
wolf and
much at
cub
all.
all the time when I think of myself
Yeah.
as a dad, though. Like it's just
I would
me
like to
and
have
my
like
kid. Yeah.
the super manly relationship where it's like I teach my son valuable things, but then I'm like I'm not that guy. I can't do that. I'd be a horrible dad. Like because I have such poor communication
I
skills.
know I would
that,
be a
like,
horrible dad, and I
Yeah.
don't care.
I don't know.
Like, I would be the best horrible dad.
For me, it's like I feel like I would end up never communicating with my child and really just kind of like not being a good
Oh
dad.
no,
And
I
so,
would
like,
communicate with my child.
I think
and
you
split,
would
like,
basically be our dad.
Probably. I mean, yeah, probably.
Because our dad is like, he's great. He's a great guy and a great dad to have, but also really difficult to communicate with. And we've never really done a
Yeah.
good job of
To an extent.
communicating.
I feel
for
I
our
blame
lives.
myself mostly for that, where it's just like I really
Well,
got
I
used
think
to
it's
it.
I think it's a matter of dad, and this is what you would be to your kids. Taking for granted too much of what they understand.
Yeah.
Like sort of, because you have a tendency to do that. You assume that people get where you're coming from
Yeah.
when they don't, and that's how our dad kind of is. He kind of just doesn't realize the things he's never explained or that we don't get intuitively.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that would be you. You'd have a difficult time. You would always feel closer to your son than your son feels to you.
Probably. I definitely think that's the thing with our dad.
Right.
Even though he has shown that he is bothered by the fact that I don't talk to him.
Right.
But for me it's a kind of thing where it's like it's a habit that's developed over years, because if you think about it, for most of our life, Dad was working really long hours and so was Mom, and we just never really saw them except for like an hour, and when they come home all they do is watch TV. So it's like there was never that opportunity of conversation in our earlier, more like developmental
Well, also
years.
because we've always talked to each other.
Yeah, and we've always talked to each other. We eliminated that need for the connection, and so now that it's like he wants that connection later in life, it's kind of like, well, now I'm just so used to not
Right.
communicating that it's like, why would I start now?
Yeah.
And I feel like shit about it because I'm like, I love my dad. Then it's
Yeah. When I think of myself as a dad, it's all I would be a tempted perfectionist, because there's too much that because I always feel like everything's developmental psychology. It's like everything,
Yes.
right? Like we are all the product of how we were raised and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would want my son to know as much shit as possible by the
Yes.
time he was older. But I also know that as smart as I am not capable of teaching them
Yes.
everything. You know, like I will never be like I'll never live up to being as good of a parent as I want to be, you
Yes.
know? And that's exactly what it said in the INFP thing. It's like you're going to like want to do everything right and have to come to terms with the fact that you can't do everything right, you know? And I was like, yep, that sounds like exactly what it's going to be, you know?
A thing for me, another thing where I would really, I'm horrible at being supportive sometimes, because I really believe that people have to figure things out for themselves most of the time. Especially it's a thing I learned with like Brando.
What the fuck was that?
Where
What hit
you can't move while they're sliding.
Oh, you did that.
But I feel like a lot of the times people just need to figure things out for themselves, and you shouldn't give people advice and things like that. That's another
disagree.
weird
It's
thing.
like a dangerous level of autonomy.
I feel like you should give people advice if they ask for it, but don't give people unsolicited advice, basically.
I completely disagree.
I
give unsolicited
where it's like if
advice
they don't want to
constantly.
hear it, you're not going to end up giving good advice. Ugh. Where some people just
Do
have
the
to
hook
figure
shot
shit
up
out
to
for
the
themselves.
midpoint. That worked.
Yeah, that did work. I don't know.
I don't agree. I think I don't understand what telling people advice how that would hinder their ability to figure things out for themselves.
Well, if they don't want to hear it, then you're really just kind of like being a dick about it. There's a bigger
don't
problem
think
in the
so.
universe about this.
I think. Well, that was that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's
that
totally
was
different.
totally different.
Yeah.
Their unsolicited advice thing. That was people just coming up to you and giving you advice.
That's true.
on
That
things.
is different.
That is totally different. If I'm talking to my fucking friend and they're telling me about their problems, I'm gonna tell them my opinion on it, you know?
Ugh.
What?
That fucking puzzle is just
I just
completely
hook shot into the top of the puzzle. Yeah, I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? This is stupid.
That is pretty fucking weird.
That was it was a trap. I don't know.
I mean,
Because I personally don't fucking like to get advice.
I know you don't
most
like
of
to
the
get
time.
advice, and
Because it
whenever
pisses
you-
me off. Because it's just like you don't think I thought of this shit like most of the time. Where of course I've thought of it. I'm just venting a lot of the time. I'm just trying to get something out of my head, and then people were just like trying to give me advice, and it's like, okay, wait, fuck off. like I don't.
well, you make
don't
it,
need
you make
to
it out
fucking
like
patronize me.
people are giving you advice like it's like they're holding themselves above you, like they know something you don't. They're just trying to.
I don't know.
They're trying to give you
Yeah,
ideas.
we're just trying to help sometimes.
I mean, it's different circumstances. Where sometimes I understand that. Sometimes it feels like people can overreach, and it's just kind of like
It's
annoying.
There's a huge difference if they're like telling you this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. I give advice to everyone all the time, so I know that you get annoyed,
Yes.
but everyone else seems to be okay with it. Because I mean, they're ultimately going to decide for themselves. I mean, every time I talked to Brando, I told him not to join the military because
Yes.
he wasn't going to like it, and he did it anyway, and he doesn't like it. So.
I know, but he had to figure out on his own. He was never gonna
Right,
listen
but
to advice.
He didn't like think my advice was bad or annoying. It didn't
Yeah.
change his it didn't make him think, "Oh, I'm definitely going to join the military" because he advised me, you know, like he always seemed appreciative of the advice I gave him. It's just he ultimately came to that decision. And
I just don't give people advice. I'm always just like, I don't know better than you. You know, you gotta figure it out. Like what I say is not gonna be helpful.
I don't know. I think that's
Unless it's like
I feel like that's dangerous.
with our cousin Abby, I'll give her good advice because it's like, I've been through all that. I'm like way, older from that, so I feel comfortable giving advice because it's like I do know, and she's so similar to me that she'll share my perspective on something. And so I give good advice in that regard because she asks for advice, and so I feel comfortable giving it.
So
But
that
I never give
someone,
advice
like,
if it's not
asks-
asked.
I
Like,
see.
if you come to me for advice, I will help you. But if you're having a problem, I'm gonna be as supportive as I can without like giving you advice or telling you something that you should do or something like that. Where it's like that's where it kind of annoys me. Cause I don't know.
I break mirrors with my face in the United
Oh!
States.
Oh.
I heard legends of that.
It's amazing, like watching this game. It's always crazy to see like which rules carry over from the 2D games. But like, because in the 2D games, usually your sword can bypass like walls and shit, but
Yeah.
not your other items, and they've retained that here. And it's just
It's pretty cool. This game's awesome. It's
play.
rad.
Anyone who hasn't played, like, if you're a Zelda fan and you haven't played all the games, play all the games because
No.
it's like fascinating to watch the progress and like see which things are kept from which games and shit like that.
I like that Link is carried over from game to game.
Depending on which timeline you're going down, unless you just meant like
the character. I think you just meant a general.
Because there are like 3 different links or so. Or 3
The
different
fucking
timelines.
convoluted Nintendo timeline.
Well, like even without the timeline, like some games are literally direct sequels. Like Oracle of Ages and Seasons and A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening are all the same link. And then Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are obviously the same link because it's like right afterwards. But it's the young Link of Ocarina of Time. Yeah. That thing I just said.
Yeah, but the timeline.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if there's real alternate timelines and what alternate me is doing. I get worried about alternate me a lot. Like, a lot more worried than I am about myself sometimes. That's just me, though.
Why do you think alternate you is in such a bad situation?
I don't know, because I've seen some bad situations, and I know that I could wind up in them. I know that alternate me is a shithead, too.
I zoned out. Now we're on, like, different timelines and shit. This is interesting.
Yeah, really.
He's talking about his concerns for alternate him.
I hate to imagine other timelines. It just becomes a clusterfuck of possibilities.
I can't imagine that I'd be doing anything different in any circumstance.
Well, you don't encounter enough variables.
Yeah. I mean, I did encounter one. The other day I was telling you how that I found that channel with the guy who did the 2.5-hour Mass Effect video that was exactly what the Mass Effect video would have been that I planned back when I bought my equipment, and like it was.
This temple's so fucking cool. Isn't this cool what I'm doing right now? I'm sorry.
This is the spirit one.
That thing's like.
Yeah.
I feel the spirit.
I have to like shine the face and then. Yeah, it's just like burning the face. It's fucking rad, man. Like, think about, like, this room I've come back to so many times, and now I just, like, came through the fucking ceiling to continue this room. It's just cool.
Melt that thing's face off.
I don't remember how to get up to that.
You're just ruining the work of the architect that made this.
Look behind you.
This poor guy's work is being destroyed by you, as you delve deeper.
Oh, yeah!
Dude, fuck yeah, I made it the boss.
Be worried. Oh, yeah!
I want the architect of this temple to come back and just like, oh no, the statue's face is gone. Who did this?
This is a cool boss.
Well,
I always love this boss.
You actually made it through this dungeon in a timely fashion.
Because it's a fun dungeon.
We only spent as many episodes on this dungeon as we did on Gerudo fucking Fortress.
Yes. It's always been one of my favorite dungeons. And now that I got through easily, I can say that. Because I didn't want to jinx it by being like, I love this dungeon. This dungeon's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And then, like, all of a sudden I hate it.
I like those moments, though.
Those
are moments.
You like those moments because you like to watch me burn.
I just like to see contradictions.
I think that's probably your favorite thing about me. I am
just like
so full of contradictions and bullshit,
man.
man. I contradict myself constantly.
That's why I never correct Derek when I talk to him.
Oh, I know that.
That man is nothing but contradiction.
It's a fucking Starburst commercial, man. That's what I told someone before. I was talking to Chrissy. I was like, I am really consistent. I have a Starburst commercial. I don't remember the context. I did something horribly inconsistent.
Oh man.
You are just. This is the most boring way you could fight this guy.
Yeah, I'm really trying not to die. That's how I got through this temple efficiently, is by throwing bombs at these things.
Yeah, see, efficiency, it's really good. That's what I tell people.
I'm okay.
I've never done this before. I didn't know I could do this until today.
I rewatched.
I've never just thrown bombs at the dude before.
I was rewatching.
I'm quite satisfied with
Ego
myself.
Raptor's sequelitis on Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past, coming to the conclusion that he just thoroughly missed the point about this game.
Yes.
Because of the fact that everything he complains about is through comparison to A Link to the Past.
Yes.
While not even though he kind of like admits that they are very different games, he then goes on to make like all his problems with this game are the things that he loved about A Link to the Past and he doesn't like about this game.
Yeah.
Without really talking about the things that make this game different and interesting. And one of the things he praised the most about this game was those fights. Because he said that he was saying that the problem with the battles in this game is that they seem to take place in like a different universe from the rest of the game, where it's like once you're in a one-on-one fight, it just becomes about the battle and has nothing to do with the environment or the 3D movement, which is what the rest of the game's about. And so what he loved about those fights is that you use like the pillars and you use like your environment and like getting around and all that's like a part of the battle.
Raped that.
And you just threw bombs at it until it died. It's
but
like,
that's another thing I like about this, is that it's like, it's another thing where it can be whatever experience you want. It can be whatever difficulty.
That's what to
you
me
can
is
kill
the
him with
point
a
of this
variety
game.
of items. You can use your sword. You can use
Like,
a hammer. You can use the
what
bombs.
That's what I think Eager Raptor missed completely. Is that the point of this game is that everything you do feels good.
Yeah.
And and that's what puts this game closest to Zelda 1 out of all the games that had come before.
Oh, this fight's fucking cool. I don't have any fairies. I'm gonna die.
Because like the whole basis of Zelda 1 is that just playing the game feels so good that you want to beat it.
Yeah.
And that's not true for A Link to the Past or Zelda 2 or Link's Awakening or any of those games. Zelda 1 felt amazing, and Ocarina of Time feels amazing. So no matter what you do, it always feels good to do. And then it just so happens that it also has like a cool story and cool visuals and all that shit. So yeah, it's just like, what were you thinking? You know, like, yeah, that fight is cool, like mechanically, I guess, but you could also just throw bombs at it until it dies, and that's also cool, you know?
It was so fun. It was fun to throw 20 bombs at a dude.
Yeah.
They just explode on his face, and it makes a cool sound.
Everything is good in this game. It's perfect.
This is very cool.
It's my favorite game. Until I know that there must exist a game that I will love more than this
Probably
game.
Majora's Mask. You should really just play that.
I mean,
you will definitely love it.
I was thinking more like a non-Zelda game that I might love more than a Zelda game. I feel like there must be one out there, but I've definitely not found it.
Ah, shit. Oh, I missed the cue on that.
Yeah.
I was a little late. Now I'm made of ice.
But yeah, I was thinking that, because as I've been writing this video, I've been so focused on Link's moveset, and then I was like, fuck, doesn't Majora's Mask have, like, whole different movesets depending on what mask you're using? Like, don't you basically move totally
this is very interesting. It's like no other game really does that.
Right. And, like, what I praise the most in a lot of
and
these
they all
games
feel
is-
good. They're all super cool.
Right. So I think it's possible that will be my, like, #1 movement.
Oh yeah, you have to shoot the other one. I was trying to shoot it back at her. Okay.
Oh, really? You didn't remember that? One is fire and one is ice, Victor.
Shut the fuck up. I was just trying to shoot it back. I wasn't thinking.
Obviously. The other one's shooting.
Shit.
Did you not see it use the
Yeah, you have to
magnet
target at the one that you want to reflect it at. Blech. Which means you have to get them kind of both lined up. You can keep talking. I'm in a fight.
I am out of
I'm
subject.
really concentrating on this fight.
Shit. I've got Death Grips lyrics stuck in my head.
God.
Ugh.
I'm trying to think of other bands and stuff I listen to. I've been listening to a lot of new music, like Tobias Jester Jr. and Title Fight. Title Fight's really changed as a band, which I really like, because they used to be like this hardcore pop punk band that all the douchebags in high school would listen to, and now they became a shoegaze band on their last album.
Target Red. What are you doing?
I
So they're
can't
a lot better.
fucking. The targeting doesn't switch between like characters very easily. I'm fucked. I did not even get a single hit.
Just don't use targeting. You know you can aim your shield, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's normally how you do this boss.
What the fuck? It sucks. It just shot straight down.
Why did it do that? You don't think you were aiming up?
It's inverted.
Oh,
Hey.
You're doing it.
way more effective.
I don't think I can, like, sure.
I wish the owl showed up at this point.
It's like, hey!
In the middle of the
He
fight.
just helps you.
And he's like talking to you.
Link!
Like a dialogue.
Use the boost!
Do you want me to repeat that?
You have to reflect laser beams, Link. Do you need me to repeat myself? God damn it, aim up. What the fuck?
You are taking it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh.
Well, you wanted more
What
videos.
say?
Is this a video break?
Ooh, that you only meant. I'm not gonna take a video break when you're on the boss. We always try to fit the boss in with the end of the video.
That's true.
We always.
Now, had you beaten that boss, it would have been a 25-minute video and it would have been perfect. But now that you're taking more than one try, it's gonna be a 30-minute video.
Time, Big. What are you gonna do?
Where's the fairy here?
Actually, do you think we should take a break?
Probably.
Alright,
Or, I
fine.
mean,
Next time on
episode break.
Digibro.
Swag.